Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we are going to react to German homes, their typical things and what makes a home more German. So leave a like and subscribe. Get to it.
Did you know that in German addresses, the street name comes first and then the number, and the postcode or zip code comes before the city? And check out the doorbells, no numbers. Instead, they're labelled with the surnames of the people living there, which strikes me as slightly unusual for this privacy-loving nation.
To be honest, the surnames are a bit controversial because if you look at it, it may get confusing sometimes because there are a lot of people with the same surname. So I don't know how to react in a time where I go to a certain building and there are 3 or 4 people with the same surname and I get confused sometimes. But anyway, let's get to it. Keep going.
Anyway, for today's episode, we're at home with the Germans. German homes come in all shapes and sizes. They also have pretty logical names. A house at the end of a row of houses is called an end of the row house, or ein Endhaus. A house where one family lives is called a one-family house, Einfamilienhaus. Large houses split up into several apartments are called Mehrfamilienhäuser, or multi-family houses, and that's the most common type of home here. As I've told you.
To be honest, I like Germans keeping it simple. Not with the breads, of course, because there are a lot of breads, a lot of beers and other stuff, but with the houses they are keeping it simple. I like that.
Before, Germans usually know the exact measurements of their home in square meters. The average German home is a little over 90 square meters for 2 people. 5 million Germans live in a WG or Wohngemeinschaft.
Well, it's
that's shared
small
accommodation. And only 0.5% of households have 3 or more generations living under one roof. Cold rent means without bills, and warm rent includes costs for certain utilities and services. Germany has long been a nation of renters. Less than half the population owns their own home, and in some larger cities that drops to a quarter. This is in part a hangover from recent history. During the war, a lot of private property was destroyed, so rental apartment blocks were built as a quick fix. In East Germany, people rarely had the option of purchasing their own property, and state-owned property was heavily subsidised. These days, some people prefer the flexibility of renting. Germans do, after all, move an average of 6 times in their life. But most people cite spiralling house prices and hefty deposits as the main hurdle to owning their own home. That being said, renting...
With this I have to disagree. It's better to have your own house because no matter what happens, your money stays put in a place, but Germans fight it better that way. In a way, I'd like that kind of life because you have the free... You are free to move wherever you want. You want to go to some places you like, you go. You don't care. It's not your house. You just live, fill the papers, and you are free. Different from your house because you need to sell it.
Isn't always a particularly cheap alternative. In Munich, renters are shelling out around 17 euros per square meter. Berlin has introduced a controversial 5-year...
They have for square meters. I didn't know that. It's a new thing for me. I never heard a house to be rented by the meters. You know, 200 meters, 17 euros a meter. It's just something I never heard. This is the first time, only in Germany.
To try and get its prices under control. And some people are getting creative, shunning traditional living models in favour of houseboats, camper vans, communal living projects or tiny houses.
Ein Tiny House ist ein kleines Häuschen, meistens aus Holz gebaut, zwischen 10 und 20 Quadratmeter auf Rädern, auf einem PKW-Anhänger.
A moment, I haven't turned the subtitles on.
Ist aber auch eine Bewegung. Ja, ist eine Bewegung, die vor ungefähr 15 Jahren in Kalifornien in den USA eingesetzt hat.
Und wie ist es dann nach Deutschland gekommen?
Okay,
in Deutschland
coming down.
Gab es ja schon immer durch diese Kleingärten eine Tiny House Affinität. Deutsche und auch Holländer, die ja sehr viel Camping machen und Caravaning, die haben eine hohe Sympathie für kleine Räume.
Welche Vorteile bietet ein Tiny House?
Wenn wir nicht mehr so viel Platz beanspruchen, können wir nicht mehr so viel kaufen. Wenn alle Menschen auf einmal in Holzgebäude leben würden, hätten wir nicht so eine CO2-Katastrophen. Und wenn wir nicht mehr in anonymen Hochhäusern leben wollen, sondern eher in kleinen Strukturen, dann ist das soziale Miteinander auch ein anderes.
Anyway, back to the status quo for now. Here are my personal picks for a few things that make a home very German. House shoes, bottled water, sparkling of course, weird little mini forks for cake. If the cakes aren't mini, then why are the forks? Solid roller blinds that block out every last scrap of light. one of these retro-looking wooden measuring sticks. A cellar with caged-off storage spaces. A beloved balcony. That's the most sought-after home feature. 2 duvets, very practical. And unwieldy, squashy, frankly ridiculous square pillows. Newcomers often have a few surprises when they move into their first place in Germany. First of all, don't expect a house or flat to be furnished, even if you're renting. And the biggest shock of all might come when you enter the kitchen. Yep, it's totally normal to take your entire kitchen with you when you move. Counters, cooker, sink, everything. One good thing about moving here is that it's a team effort.
Well, that is something that surprises me also. I would never think someone taking the kitchen out of a rental place. It's just... Doesn't it become costly to move it around? Tell me in the comments.
Absolutely the done thing to enlist the help of all your friends. The only payment required is beer, pizza, and the knowledge that you'll return the favour. Of course, it wouldn't be Germany without a good set of rules. The small print in a rental contract can include such gems as the exact level of noise you're allowed to make, how often you have to air your flat out, and the requirement to repaint every room a neutral colour upon your departure. If you've noticed anything else about the German way of living, leave me a comment below. Thanks for dropping by.
This was my reaction. I really like the German homes. I hope that I get to know more about them. I would like you to give me some comments about them and tell me more. It would be a great thing to learn about them, and I hope I see you in the next video. Like and subscribe.